Okay, I'm going to finish talk. Hello, good morning. I'm going to talk. So last time we talked about something called completing squares. It's kind of difficult for some people. So at this moment, our goal is to be able to draw quadratic functions. So I'm going to type in the chat. So our goal is to know quadratic functions, which means quadratic function can be represented as a graph, as equation, like f of x equals to 2x squared minus x plus 1, right? And then we see we have one kind of standard form. So people call, we have a couple kinds of standard forms. So one is, so standard forms, one type is this. The f of x equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, right? So today I'm going to focus on this one. So let me also write on this. Yeah, so I'm going to call this one. So this is one of the standard form here. F of x equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. Let's see if I have a function. Let me make an example. So f of x equals to 2x squared minus x minus 1. Let's figure out a, b, c here. So let's say given us a quadratic function, 2x squared minus x minus c. So we're going to follow this frame. All right, to say, okay, to figure out a, b, c. So a is a number before x squared, which is 2 in this case. B is a number before x, which is -1 in this case. C is a number itself, also is -1. Right? So given the quadratic function, we can figure out a, b, c. We write in a standard form. Well, let's give another example. Let's see this one. We have f of x equals to 10 minus 3x squared plus 2x. Right? This is not in order. Not in order. So how do we figure out a, b, c? We do the same, right? We do the same. We think a is a number before x squared. What's a number before x squared? -3. B is a number before x. What's a number before x? 2. C is a number itself. Well, that's 10. Right? Even this one is not written in order, but we figure out a, b, c by the number before x squared, before x, and the number itself. Right? So that's how we figure out a, b, c. So let's see those two questions, right? Let's see these two. So let's figure out a, b, c here. So this one, the number before x squared is 1. The number before x is 4. What is the number itself? There's no number there. That means it's 0. So for this one, a equals to 1 because the number before x squared is 1 by default. B is 4 because the number before x is 4. C is 0 because there's no number, by itself. So that means C equals to 0. Well, let's figure out this one. So g of x, let's also figure out a, b, c. A is a number before x squared, -2. B is a number before x, 4. C is a number itself, -5. Right, so this is what we do. Okay, now we know how to figure out a, b, c. So we want to find the minimum point or the maximum point or the vertex. All right, we want to find the vertex. Let me write here. The vertex. Okay. The vertex is this. It's a negative b over 2a, and the f of negative b over 2a. So this is the vertex. All right. You see here, x equals to negative b over 2a. That's the x value for the vertex. All right. That's the x value for the vertex. If it's upward parabola, the vertex is minimum. If it's a downward parabola, the vertex is maximum. So this is how we find out the vertex. It's easier than the completing squares. I know completing squares is a little bit difficult. Right? We don't have to use that. We don't have to use completing squares. So let's try this method to graph the function. So once we figure out a, b, c, find the vertex, we do x equals negative b over 2a. Then we evaluate this x value into the function to find the vertex. Okay, let's try. Let's try with those two. Let's see a. We want to find it. Let's find the vertex or the minimum or the maximum. Okay, how do we figure out the maximum or minimum? We look at the number a. If a is positive, that's maximum. That's minimum. Because if a is positive, we get an upward parabola. The vertex will be minimum. And the second case, g, a is -2. If the number before x squared is -2, that gives us a downward parabola. So we get a maximum. Okay, let's find out the minimum for a. So we figure out a, b, c is 1, 4, 0. We just plug into this formula, x is negative b over 2a. So x equals to negative, b is 4, a is 1, 2 times 1. So -4, 2 times 1, which is 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. We have this negative sign, so we get -2. Get -2. Now we plug in this -2 into the function. So we do f of -2. Then we have -2 squared plus 4 times -2. -2 times -2, which is pass through 4. 4 times -2, -8. So we have 4 plus -8, which is -4. So this is our vertex. And the y value is a minimum value. So we see the vertex here. It's -2. It's a point. X value is -2. Y value is -4. So that's this point. That's this minimum point. X value is -2. Y value is -4. So we're treating this one as -6. Okay. Once we have this vertex, right? So we can graph this point. Then we need maybe 2 more points to graph the function, the parabola. Well, how do we find? We need to find x-intercept and a y-intercept. Let's find a y-intercept for this. Or maybe here. Let's figure out the y-intercept. Y-intercept means 0, f of 0, right? Let's figure out what this equals to. If x equals 0, So x value is always 0. That's the definition of y-intercept. Then f of 0, we plug into 0. 0 squared is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. So f of 0 is also 0. All right, that's the origin. So y-intercept is the origin. And we need to figure out one more thing. We want to figure out x-intercept. How do we figure out x-intercept? We set the function to be 0. X-intercept has a definition of this. We don't know x, but we know y. We know f of x equals 0. Right? So how do we figure out? Let me put over here. So figure out, let me put a point here. Yeah, if any of you have any questions, stop me. Plug in. This is not plug in. Right, for y-intercept, we plug into 0. But for y equals 0, there's, we do this. Okay, so f of x equals to 0, right? What's f of x? X squared plus 4x equals to 0 to solve the quadratic equations. So this is the definition of x-intercept. We need to solve for x. So set the y value to be 0, the function value to be 0. We try to solve for x. How do we solve for x? We factor this. Right? So let's factor out x. We'll have x plus 4 equals to 0. Then we use 0 property. Right? If something multiply something equals 0, that means one of them or two of them to be 0. That means x is 0 or x equals to -4. Right? We have two solutions. You see, if x is 0, 0 times anything will be 0. The equation is true. If x equals -4, -4 plus 4 will be 0. Right? 0 times -4 will be 0. So we have two solutions. That means we have two x-intercepts. So x-intercept, we have 0, 0 and -4, 0. Exactly shows in the graph. So now with these three pieces of information, we have vertex, right? And we have x-intercept, we have y-intercept, and we can graph, right? So we have this, let's call this 1. Can I write 1 here? Yeah. Let's call this 2. Let's call this 3. With these three pieces of information, we can graph. First, we graph this point, -2, -4, right here. Then we graph y-intercept, that's 0, 0. Then we graph x-intercept, 0, 0, and -4, 0. Then we just, we just do this. We connect those three dots, smoothly, like a curve. Because we know it's upward parabola. So we have these 3 points. We have this point. The origin is y-intercept and also x-intercept. That's okay, right? And now we have these 3 points. We can graph. This is a much easier way than the completing squares, than before the vertex form. I know vertex form is annoying. We don't have to do this. All right, we don't have to graph this way. Let's actually use this one as example to graph graph this. All right. So let's solve for vertex. We don't have to completing squares. Let's solve for vertex. Let's find our vertex. So let's figure out our ABC. A equals to -1, B equals to 1, C equals to 2. Right? Now let's find our x value for the vertex. So let's find our vertex. x value equals to negative b over 2a equals to, well, negative, so b is 1, so we just have 1 over 2a. A is negative 1, that's negative 2, right? 2 times negative 1, negative 2. So we have half. Negative divided by negative become positive. So the x value is half. Now let's try to find a y value, f of half. Let's plug into the function. We have a negative half square. What's half square? Quarter, right? Then plus half plus 2. That equals to, so negative quarter plus half, that's positive quarter. Plus 2, we have 2 1/4. So we have 2 1/4. 2, let me write as 2 1/4. 2 1/4 is 9 over 4, right? Our vertex is half and 9 over 4. We can see from here, right? It's from here also we get a half and 9 over 4 by completing squares. But completing squares is kind of troublesome. All right, so let's do this way. Let's figure out a, b, c, then use negative b over 2a to find x. Then plug in the value of x into the function, find the y. So we have the vertex. Instead of doing these completing squares, which is annoying. Okay, so we have a half 9 over 4 as our vertex. We know it's a downward parabola because the number before x squared is negative. So it's a downward parabola. We have this vertex. We want to figure out our y-intercept. Right? Y-intercept is 0, f of 0. F of 0. F of 0 means this is 0, this is 0, we're left with 2. So 0, comma c is always the y-intercept. You can remember this. 0, comma c. C value is the y-intercept. All right? But when we plug in x into 0, the x term disappears. We're only left with a constant term. 0, comma c is y-intercept. So c is 2, so we have 0, comma 2. You see this point is our y-intercept. Okay, last step, we need to figure out those two x-intercepts. So how do we figure out x-intercept? Again, we set f of x into 0. Okay. So x 0. This is the definition of x-intercept. All the y value or the function value is 0. So we set f of x equals 0. What's f of x? F of x is this, negative x squared plus x plus 2. So negative x squared plus x plus 2 equals 0. Now we solve this quadratic equation. We don't like negative 1 before x squared. Let's multiply negative 1 for every term. So multiply negative 1, this first term becomes positive. Multiply by negative 1, those two terms becomes negative. Or 0 multiplied by negative 1 stays to be 0. Now we can factor this. We can factor as x minus 2, x plus 1. Then we solve this, we get two solutions, right? X equals 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, is one solution. X is negative 1, negative 1 plus 1 is 0, second solution. So 2x, x-intercepts. So we get a 2 x-intercepts. So x-intercept. Instead we have negative 1, comma 0, and 2, comma 0. So we plug those 2 points on the coordinates. So we have negative 1, 0, we have 2, 0. We have 4 points here. We connect those 4 points smoothly, right? because we know it's a downward parabola. So we draw this kind of graph. Right. So that's how we graph quadratic functions. All right. We want to use this for, we want to try to find at the most 4 points. Sometimes we don't get 4 points. Like this one, we get 3 points. This one we get 3 points. One of the x-intercept is the same as y-intercept. Sometimes we only get 2 points. Like this one. This one, we don't have x-intercept. We only have y-intercept and the vertex. Let's see why we do not have x-intercept. Okay. Let's see why we do not have x-intercept. Let's try let's see why we don't have x-intercept. Let's figure out this. So x-intercept is saying set the function to be 0. Let's do that. So 5x squared minus 30x plus 49 equals to 0. Yes, someone, let's see. Right, when not tapped in, it is because of the discriminant, right? Because the discriminant is less than, it's not positive. It has to be positive. Okay, so let's divide it by 5, right? Let's divide it by 5. We want to do x squared, to simplify this, basically. So let's divide it by 5. For every term, we have x squared minus 6x plus 49 divided by 5 equals to 0. Now, how do we solve this? This is not factorable. We cannot factor this. So what do? We can use a quadratic formula, right? ABC, figure out ABC. Or we can completing squares. Yeah, let me review with you completing squares. So I'm going to take x squared minus 6x. I'm going to plus 9 minus 9. Plus 9 minus 9 as if I didn't do anything. Plus 49 divided by 5 equals to 0. Then the first 3 terms give me a square, give me a perfect square. So I can rewrite the first 3 terms into x minus 3 squared. Then 9 times 5, so I'm going to change negative 9 to be, maybe let me write here, not to cube, to square. I'm going to multiply 9 with 5 over 5. All right, I multiply by 1 basically, because I need to make a common denominator to combine with 49 over 5. Okay, so the first 3 terms, x squared 6x 9 gives me a perfect square, x minus 3 squared. That's exactly why I add 9, subtract 9 here. Then negative 9 becomes, so 5 times 9, negative 45 over 5. So now I have a common denominator 5 for those 2 terms. Negative 45 plus 49 is positive 4. So let me rewrite this. So now I have x minus 3 squared plus 4 over 5 equals to 0. Okay, you see this? X squared. Let me move this 4 over 5 to the other side. Then I have x minus 3 squared equals to negative 4 over 5. Is that ever possible? When I square something, I get negative value? Never, right? This can never be true. So this is when I talk about the discriminant, but I don't want to bring up the discriminant. So we can finish here. A square can never be negative in real number system. So that's it. So that means this one, no x-intercept. Okay, this is why we don't have x-intercept for this. So no x-intercept. And also we know it's upward parabola because 5, the number before x squared is 5, is positive. So, and we know the y-intercept. Y-intercept is 0, 49. 0, 49, y-intercept. Then we can graph. We can graph this. All right, I think this is an easier way to graph quadratic functions. Figure out vertex, figure out x-intercept and y-intercept. Then to know, through the number before x squared, to know is upward parabola or downward parabola, we can graph this. It's much easier than completing squares. Okay, than this step. All right, that step is confusing. Okay, so now let's go back to our. Let me talk. Let me see. Yeah, we finished up talking about this. Okay, let's talk. Let's go to our exercise. All right, so let's go back to this. So I'm still going to leave you 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19 as homework. All right, this is still homework. So for now, let's try this. Let's try these even numbers. Let's try 5 of them. Okay, so the job is to figure out ABC, find. So our goal, basically goal, is to graph the quadratic function. Okay, this is our goal. Graph. Let me just change this. Okay. Right. This has the last step. So sketch is graph. Graph the quadratic. Oh, I don't need here. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's just follow this. Express the standard function in standard form. The standard form means this. Means f of x equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, this is our standard form to follow. Then find its vertex, its x and y intercepts, then sketch the graph. All right? So figure out ABC, then find the vertex, x equals to negative b over 2a. So try 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Then I'm going to call you to show, all right? Or maybe you volunteer. But try to finish 5 of them. James, you have a question? Okay.
Hello, Professor. Can someone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my connection went off. That's why.
She gave us some works to do,
I'm
and then
sorry,
she's
I
gonna
mute
come back.
myself. I'm sorry, I mute
Uh-huh.
myself. What's your question?
Oh,
Can you
I
hear
said
me?
my connection went off. That's why I was not in class for 10 minutes. I was figuring out. What are we doing right now?
Oh, you don't know what are we doing? We're trying to do
No.
to graph follow what's this one? From 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. We're trying to graph it, follow A, B, C. A is saying express the quadratic function into standard form, figure out A, B, C. Then find x-intercepts, find the vertex, x-intercepts, y-intercepts, then sketch the graph.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone wants to show? So I will have one person to show each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 5 people. Okay, Ollie can do 10. Okay, go ahead, Ollie. Do you want to share your screen with us? Anybody else?
Can I do 12?
Yeah. So who's this? So Ollie 10. So
Hasato Diallo.
oh, Hasato. Okay, Hasato 12. Anybody wants to do 16? Or 14, 16, 18? Should I call people? Okay, Samir, do 14. Great. Samir, let me make you guys presenters. Samir, how come I don't? Oh, right here. Okay, go ahead, Ollie.
Okay, so what I did is pretty much try to find, I guess, like I try to square it. So what I did is take 8, which is B, divide that by 2, I get 4, then I square that and I get 16.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What are you doing? I'm not understanding. Okay, so we said 3 steps, right? First, we figure out A, B, C. What's your A? What's your B? What's your C
Oh,
here?
okay. So my 8 is 1, my B is 8, and my C is 0.
Great. Now, what do you want to do? You want to find the vertex?
I do that later.
So what is the second line? What's the second line?
Squaring. So I could find, I guess, so I could find the standard form for a squared plus 8x.
I'm sorry, I do not understand. Okay, hold on a second. So this is a function, right? You figure out A, B, C.
Yes.
So now you want to use this A, B, C to find a vertex, right?
Yes.
Right. So how to find a vertex? The x value is negative b over 2a, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is this first line x value equals to negative b over 2a?
No, what I'm trying to do is trying to find the square.
What are you trying to find? What square? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Because I'm trying to put everything into standard form. That's
Right. Oh, you mean you want completing square? Okay, so
yeah.
you're following the old one. All right. Oh, okay, you're completing square. Okay, I see. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead. Keep going.
So yeah, I get 4, square that, I get 16. So I get this to x squared plus 8x plus 16 parentheses minus x. I factor this out, which I get 8x plus 4 squared minus 16. And from there, I find the vertex. So B will be the opposite, which is negative 4, and then 16 is, I think, K.
Because in the vertex form, this is x minus h. Because you have a plus 4, that's why your h is negative 4. Okay, yes. That's a vertex, great. Yes, the vertex, right.
Then I find the x-intercept, so I equal everything to 0. I factor that out. Then x equals 0, then and x equals minus 8.
Great.
For y-intercept, or x equals 0, therefore 0 squared plus 8 times 0 equals 0. So y equals 0, and I graph it.
Okay, let's see. So, right, because it's x squared, so it's upward parabola. We have negative 4, negative 16. We have, so 0, 0. Hold on, can you, what's the two x-intercepts? Oh, 0 and negative 4, right?
No, 0,
Oh,
negative.
0, negative 8. So 0, negative 8. Okay, something is not right here. Ali, can you tell me what's not right? Here, no, right here, the graph, on the graph. The point. What is this point? Can you see my pointer?
No.
No, you cannot see my pointer. Okay, your left one, right, your pointer. So what's your point there under your pointer? What's the x value?
Oh, it's negative a0.
Great.
Yes.
Okay, good job. Perfect.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that's only the next one.
Actually, no, I don't want to present.
No,
I'm not
okay,
sure
next
that
time.
I'm right. Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable, next time. All right. So Samir, we go with you 14. Then Liz, get ready for 16. Let me
All
make
right.
sure you have this. Then I still have 12 and 18. I need 2 more people. Great, Natalie 12. Okay, great. So get yourself ready. Samir, you ready? Can't hear you.
Wait, I'm trying to find the file.
Oh,
Yeah, you give me a second. I'm gonna try to find it.
okay. Okay, Lisbeth and then Natalie. Yeah, try to get yourself ready, all right? Ali get a presenting point. So when you do a wonderful job, I'll give you credit for that.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. So for 14, what I did was so here we have x squared minus 2x plus 2. So I broke down the variables. So I have a equals to 1, b equals to 2, and negative 2, and c equals to 2. So I plugged in the numbers, replaced a with the 1, negative 2 with h, and positive 2 with k. Then I graphed the points right here. So our vertex is 2, negative 2, along with the right here we have 5 over 11, and here 0, 6.
Okay, you see the difference between yours and Ali's? Ali's shows every step. Yours, I have to guess and check. But let me ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
So you're using the vertex form, right?
Yeah.
Right, you want to write as a times x minus h squared plus k. In this case, h comma k will be a vertex. So what you did with this is you made x minus 2 squared, that will require 4. You basically, but you don't have 4, you won't have 2 here. So you add,
Yeah. So I couldn't reduce that anymore.
right, so this plus 2, you have to change this plus 2. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So how would you change it? This is not right.
Wait, you're
This
talking about the one in C right here?
I'm talking about this. Can you see my blue line?
No, I can't see it.
Let me see. Let me change the color.
Do I have to click stop sharing so I can see your
No,
example?
I wrote on your paper. Can you see it? I wrote on the screen.
Oh, yeah, now I can see it.
You can see it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
This plus 2 is not right.
I also have to change that to negative 2, right?
Right. You cannot, because this is x squared minus 2x. You cannot only write this into x minus 2 squared. That's not right. What's x minus 2 squared?
X minus 2 squared is... Isn't it positive?
What do you mean positive? Yeah,
Oh,
the term itself will be non-negative,
oh, okay.
but it's something more. So you're writing this, hold on. You're writing this into this, that's not right. Those two not equal to each other.
Okay,
Can you fix it?
sure.
Okay, you want to fix here? You want to fix on the spot? Or you want to fix it later? Fix
I'll fix it later.
Oh, okay, all right. But let me just point it out, all right?
All
So
right.
you're making perfect square. X minus 2 square is x minus 2x plus 4. Plus
Oh, you
4.
want me to use the original standard form?
Doesn't matter which form you're using. Actually, right before this, I talk about use ABC. Since you figure out ABC,
Mm-hmm.
right? About using x equals negative b over 2a, but you're not using it. You're
Okay.
using this. You're using this is fine, but there's a mistake here. Because x minus 2 squared is x squared minus 2x plus 4.
Got it.
All right. So
Yeah.
then this should be, because you need plus 4 here, but you don't have it. You don't have it. You only have plus 2. So how do you compensate? You have the minus 2, right?
Yeah.
Plus 4 minus 2, that will
Oh yeah, now I see what you mean. You have to do it both sides, right?
not both sides. So this they have to equal each other. So this should be minus 2
Okay.
because you have a plus 4 here.
Also, yes. So +2 on both sides, then you add it to get 4.
Which both sides?
Yeah.
You're talking about this too. If you're looking at this, you think, don't think that way. You think, okay, you basically rewrite this 2 plus 2 into plus 4 minus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then with x squared minus 2x plus 4 makes a perfect square, makes this square. Then this has to be minus 2, not plus 2 anymore, minus 2.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Now I understand.
Then you see your graph, it won't be this one. Your graph, you will have x-intercept. If it's plus 2, you won't have intercept, but now it's minus 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you will have the x-intercept.
All right.
But a good try. Okay, try again.
Got it.
All right, thank you though.
You're welcome.
Okay, Natalie, you want to try 12? 14. Well, if anybody else wants to try 14, that's okay too. Hello? Okay, so Samir 14 needs a little bit of fixing. So who's ready? Liz, are you ready? 16?
So she wants to use.
Yes,
Natalie,
I'm ready.
oh, you're ready, Liz? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Wait, give me a second. Can you see my screen or no?
Not yet.
Oh my god. Okay. And now?
Yeah, now we see the screen.
Okay, so I was not able to do the graph, but I was able to do the process. So I did 14, and so for 14 we have the standard form of it, negative x squared minus 4x plus 4, and I found that a equals negative 1, b equals negative 4, and c equals 4. And then in order for me to get the vertex, I use this formula, which is the formula for the vertex, and I substituted the numbers for b and a. So negative 4 divided by negative 2, parenthesis negative 1, and that gave me negative 2. Then I substituted the negative 2 into the original equation, which then resulted as a. And the vertex is negative 2, comma a. In order for me to get the y-intercept is 0, comma c. In this case, c is 4, so that's the vertex 0, comma 4. X-intercept, we have to basically substitute or replace x for 0, and this is what I did. And I got 4 since every time we multiply something by 0, it gives 0. But then here we have nothing to multiply with. It's just like a regular number and it's 4. So that gave us 4. So the x-intercept resulted to be 4, 0.
Okay, Liz. Thank you. Just hold on right here. Hold on right here. Let me ask the rest of the class. How many? So anybody agree with Liz or anybody disagree with Liz? Okay, I don't get any response. Okay, Liz, I'm not going to agree with you. First,
Okay.
the only typo. Write x here. Write x before negative b over 2a. That's the x value. Start with x equals to negative b over 2a.
Wait, what?
Make sense?
Wait, which specific you talking about?
The second line. The second line.
Okay,
Negative
second
b
here.
over 2a.
Mhm.
Right, write x equals to this.
Oh, got it.
Okay, so that's the x value. So that's the x value for the vertex. Then you have f of x. Okay, so this step is good.
Okay.
And the y-intercept is perfect. Let's
Okay.
figure out the x-intercept. X-intercept, right? Let's see.
Mhm.
You put the x-intercept 4, 0.
Mhm.
4 is the x value. But here, what's the 4? If you look one line above, is a 4 the value for x or for y?
For y.
For y,
Mhm.
right? You don't get a 4, 0.
You
You
got a
put
0.
what's the x value? You put f of 0. Your x
Okay.
value is 0. Do you see that?
Mhm. Yeah, I see that.
So your x-intercept is not an x-intercept, it's a y-intercept. It's a
Got it.
0, 4. Okay,
Oh,
so how do we find x-intercept? Remember, we set the function equal to 0. We say f of x equals to 0.
Mhm.
Yeah, some people I won't be able to write on yours. Some people I won't able to write. So can you? So we set f of x to be 0. I'm gonna write it in the chat. So
Okay.
find x-intercept. Find the x-intercept is tricky. We set f of x equals to 0. So in
Yeah,
this
I was
case,
actually confused at first, and I tried, but
yeah, but it's a good try. So in this
Mhm.
case, f of x equals to negative x squared minus 4x plus 4. So we set this one equal to 0. Negative x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals to 0. You see in the chat?
yeah.
Okay. So we need to solve for x. So we set y to be 0. We set y to be 0. Do you see that? F of x is y.
Mhm.
So how do we solve for the rest?
Wait.
So let's multiply by -1 for every term because the negative x squared is weird to deal with. So multiply -1 for every term. The equation becomes this. -1 times the first term become positive. -1 times the second term become positive. -1 times the 4 to be -4. Okay, then how do we solve this? This is not factorable. We cannot factor this. So let's complete in squares. Plus 4x plus 4 minus 8. Because plus 4 minus 8 is still 0, right? Yeah, this step is completing square. It's kind of annoying. But then we can write this as x minus 2 square equals to 8. Then with square root both sides, we have x minus 2 equals to 4, and x minus 2 equals to -4. We got two solutions, x equals to 6 and then negative 2. All right, so the x-intercept we have is negative 2, comma 0, and 6, comma 0. All right, try to understand this. All right, so who's next? Thank you. Oh, Natalie. Okay, go ahead, Natalie.
Oh, Professor, I think you have to make me a presenter.
Oh, I haven't. Okay, sorry. Natalie, already. Okay, now you are.
Okay, thank you. Can you see?
It's coming up. Yes.
Okay, for number 12. So f of x equals minus x squared plus 10x, and a is negative 1, b is 10, and c is 0. And then x equals negative b over 2a. So I just substituted the numbers into it. So I got 5 here. And then f of 5, I got negative 5 squared plus 10. And so I got negative 25 plus 50 here. And then I got 25. Minimum value is so 5 and then 25. So for y-intercept x is 0. So I put 0 into x into this function equation, or so I got 0. So the y-intercept is 0, 0, and for the x-intercept I put the whole equation to 0, and then I got negative x minus 10 equals 0. So negative x equals 0, and then x minus 10, x equals 10. I'm sorry my graph is a little bit messy.
It's
but
okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you have, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so I'm plugging all my points. So my 0, 0, my y-intercept here is 0, 0, and then my x-intercept is also 0, 0, and I have another x-intercept that's 10, 0, and then my vertex, I have 525 here.
Perfect. Perfect. I cannot find any mistake. Perfect. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
That's Natalie, right?
Yeah.
That's Natalie. Let me give you credit. Great. Beautiful job. Okay. Anybody's next? Okay, Samia, did you fix 14?
No, I'm still working on it.
You still working on it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let me see if I can call someone. Andy, do you like to try? Try like 18? Well, Anna, do you like to try? David, James, Jeremy, Kevin, San Diego, Sarah, Tijeda.
I haven't
Anyone?
done 18.
I'm sorry?
I said I haven't done 18.
You haven't done 18? Okay.
No.
All right, that's okay. Anybody else wants to try 18? Okay, maybe let's do together, shall we? Let's try together. So I'm not going to give you more homework today. So just try to finish homework 4. Oh, I received so many. Okay, let me see. Oh, Andy, do you like? Oh, Kevin. Oh, Kevin haven't started 18 yet. Andy, do you like to try 18? Oh, Andy said, I'm not sure how to graph. But are you able to find out ABC, find the x-intercept and the y-intercept? So follow the steps, right? Okay, let me talk about 18. Yeah, completing the square. Do you like to show us? So let me write in the chat. So I'm not going to, so no new homework for today. So finish homework 4. By using any method, okay? So finish homework 4. Okay, Andy is saying don't know for 18 because A is a 3. All right, let me talk about 18 quickly. 18 is kind of a troublesome. Let me try to write on this side. Okay, so this is 18, all right? So right here, 18. So the function is, so let's find ABC. Let's first write down ABC. Let's always start with ABC. So A equals -3, B equals to 6, C equals to -2. Right? All right, now let's find the vertex first. So vertex. Vertex will have x equals to -3 over 2a. Right? So negative, what is b? B is 6. So 2 times 8, what's a? A is -3. 2 times -3, -6. So if -6 divided by -6, that's 1. Right? That's the x value for vertex. Then we want to find f of 1 for y value. So f of 1. So plug into the function f of 1. So x squared is 1, x is 1, we just have -3 plus 6 minus 2. -3, -2, -5 plus 6, that's 1, also 1. So our vertex is 1, 1. Okay? 1, 1. X value is 1, y value is 1, function value is 1. All right, now let's find the y-intercept. Y-intercept is easy, right? Just 0, c. 0, c. What's c? -2. That's y-intercept. And 3, we need to find the x-intercept. X-intercept is a little bit of trouble. Okay? X-intercept, we set the function value to be 0. So function is -3x squared plus 6x minus 2, we set to be 0. We set the function to be 0. So now let's divide it by 3, -3. Because we want to every term have 1 as coefficient. Let's divide it by -3. Then we have x squared. 6 divided by -3, that's -2. Then -2 divided by -3, that's 2 over 3 equals to 0. It's completing squares. Completing squares, we need x squared. Oh, I'm missing 2x here. Minus 2x. We need a plus 1 to make a perfect square. So minus 1. So I add a 0 basically. I add a 0 to it. I'm going to use the first one to make. So I'm going to. So this gives me a complete square. So I can write as x minus 1 square. Then -1 plus 2/3, that's -1/3, right? Equals to 0. That gives me x minus 1 square equals to 1/3. And then I can square root both sides. So I get x minus 1 equals to plus minus square root of 1/3. So square root of 1/3. Square root, not equal root. Square root. But plus minus, all right? I have two values. I have plus, I have minus. So positive 1 and a negative 1. The negative square root of 1/3. And it looks weird, but we don't care, just a number, right? So that means I move -1 to the other side. I can fix my solution. That would be x equals to 1 plus square root 3 and 1 minus. So I get two values, right? This is my x-intercept value. X equals 1 plus square root of 1/3 comma 0. That's 1 point. Another point is 1 minus square root of 1/3 comma 0. You can use a calculator to find the exact value of square root of 1/3. All right, so homework is still this. Okay, last time, so I assigned for you the homework I assigned for you, and which is under the content. And graph those functions. Okay, graph those. Find ABC, find the x-intercept, the y-intercept, find the vertex, and graph those. 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. All right. Okay, have a good weekend. Anyone has any questions? Thank you. And most of you are able to do homework. That's great. Okay, keep up good work. Thank you. Okay, have a good weekend.